What's up, I'm Aidan. We're here, my DIY self-build. Remember, I don't have a trade, I just have a go. Today we're going to be painting this with a roller, Johnstone's Coverplus. We're going to do a little bit of a comparison to spraying because one of our subscribers, Mike, wasn't convinced on the time saving. To do this, I'm going to be using a paint scuttle, so we don't have to waste time topping up the paint all the time. So I'll just whack all of the paint in there. We're also going to go for a 9-inch roller, 4-inch roller, 12-inch roller. When I cut in around the edge, I always go over it with a roller as well afterwards because I hate the brush marks. So with the spraying, how long did it take me? One coat of the top coat, Coverplus, in here took me 35 minutes. 20 minutes to clean up the machine, about an hour for me to mask up. Now Mike said for the effort of like cleaning out the machine and masking up and everything, he just doesn't think it's really worth it. Let's just say for argument's sake, I done masking up for rolling and just covering stuff up in general, and it took me half an hour. I go for Johnston's Trade Coverplus Vinyl Matte. It's got excellent coverage and opacity, hide surface imperfections, and it's got an improved application apparently. It sprayed well, so I wanted to see whether it's going to roll well. So far at the moment, it looks pretty good. So we've had one coat of no nonsense Trade Bare Plaster paint and one coat of Coverplus Vinyl Matte, both sprayed on an air sprayer. It's almost there. So I'm thinking just one more coat will be fine. The only thing I'm not going to do, today at least, I'm not going to do my reveals. So I will do them, and around the door, I'll do them tomorrow. I still want to do a little bit of sealing around the edges, and then I can paint over that sealing afterwards, because the actual sealant, I've got the acrylic stuff you can paint. I still clean up my rollers. I don't chuck them away. It's only water-based paint. I've got 1, 2, 3 rollers and a paint scuttle to clear up. So even though the machine took 20 minutes to clean out, I could see myself spending a good 10-15 minutes actually cleaning my brushes and rollers anyway. So we're not too far out, I don't think. And my back's still hurting a little bit, so this is going to be a bit strenuous. I'm not watering down the paint, I'm just going to whack it in. bloody effort. Ah, you don't want to do painting when you got a bad back. Oh, I just want to I need to just relax in the bath. Right, how long do you reckon it's taken me? I haven't even finished. I've got to go and get that furniture now. It's going to be over a 2-hour round trip. I've painted that, which you see me do, and that, and then that end wall. So I'm not quite halfway, I'm almost halfway, and that took me an hour and a half. You can see where this is going, don't you? Right, so I'm going to go and pick up the stuff. I'm going to have my dinner and then I'll come back in here, so it'll be another late one. One thing I will say, I use Harris rollers. The blue ones are fine, and I thought I was being a bit clever, and I got some discontinued ones off of eBay. Like, good price, but it's the red ones. Don't really like them. Don't like them. It's done all right, but it just feels nicer with them blue ones. So I've got a blue one. I did buy one just in case. So I'm going to swap over to that for the 12-inch roller at least anyway. Yeah, my back's killing. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back from my adventure. I'm fed. Now I've got another, what would you say, a couple of hours of painting. Do you reckon that's probably how long it's going to take? Whilst we're here, I've got a little bit of bare plaster just up there. So I'm going to use the Coverplus just to see how it goes on, basically. It's not going to be part of the timed test, but I'm just testing the paint now, really. I quite like how it covers so far. The slight issue that I had was with that different roller sleeve. So we sat that roller sleeve off. This Coverplus, it dries in, well, touch dry in 1 to 2 hours, I think it is. And then recoatable after 2 to 4 hours. Right, I'm ready to start timing again. I'm going to do the little ceiling bit first. I used a 9-inch roller with the small roller as well to get around the lights and the sockets. Tackle the big wall, the dwarf wall, and then the gable. I'll see you tomorrow or the next day. Last day of painting. I just need to do these reveals around the V-Luxes and around the doors. Last night I sealed around the whole edge with no nonsense anti-crack acrylic. That went on really well. Just went on with my sealant gun and I smoothed it off with my finger, wet finger. It went on really nice, so I'm happy with that. I will be using that again, and you can paint over it as well when it won't crack. I've also sealed around the door, so I can take this off now as well. And then painting's going to be done in here. What we'll do is we'll just quickly cut that in around the window, roller it, have a tally up on the time, and we'll go for a conclusion. Time to clean up. Now we are going to cheat a little bit because we're going to use the jet wash. We'll set up. This shouldn't take long, should it? No. It's easier to clean the sprayer out. Right, let's get a little bit more light in here. I'm going to take the cling film off the spotlights. Awesome. Using that cling film works a treat. The Coverplus, it's a lot whiter than the No Nonsense Bare Trade Plaster, but I wouldn't say the opacity is as good, so I will be sticking to the No Nonsense Bare Trade Plaster paint for my mist coating because it's cheaper as well. Another observation, this is the one that I sprayed from, and this is the one that I rolled from. So that means I used 40% more paint when I was doing the airless spraying. Now that extra 40%, it went on the walls, didn't it? Obviously. So it's better than rolling realistically, because you don't have to do as many coats then, and you're going to get better coverage. To spray this whole room, to mask up was an hour, to spray the whole room was 35 minutes, and to clean the machine, I said it was about 20 minutes. It's probably less than that, but let's just round it up to 2 hours all in all. The masking up, I would still do some, but not necessarily as significant. So I'm going to cut that time in half because it was already masked up. So we're going to say half an hour for that. The first session that I done of painting was an hour and a half. And the second session was also an hour and a half. So that's 3 hours. Cutting in was 50 minutes. Just washing up with a jet wash, even though it's quicker, I know you could probably just chuck away the rollers, just over 10 minutes. So all in all, what you're looking at is 4.5 hours. So 4.5 hours versus the 2 hours or less than 2 hours spraying. So I reckon spraying's definitely the way forward. What you've got to bear in mind is I've got a massive house to do over there. So what is it, 10 times bigger? So I reckon if I can possibly, I'm going to spray it all. All of it's going to be sprayed. And then for the final coat, I'll get someone to come either behind me and back row, or we'll change roles. If I get Lou's brother over to help me do it, he can spray it and I'll back roll. And then everything will be nice. I will be doing everything white over there to begin with, and then we might change colours as we live in the property and see what we like. This video was inspired by Mike. That's Michael Collinson, no relation to the bricklayer. He does have his own YouTube channel though, so if you want to check that out, I'll pop a link in the description. He's got some interesting videos over there. But what do you reckon, Mike? Do you reckon I convinced you now? Because I know you said you'd stick to the roller, but I mean, if you've got something like this to do, surely it makes sense. Mike is an absolute trooper. He's an old boy, and you'll see on his channel, he basically built his extension single-handedly at 75 years old. Like, I just can't ever imagine ever doing that. He dug out his foundations by hand. Like, I'd do none of that. I'd get the machine straight in. So there are things that obviously make your life easier. So that's if I can shed out a little bit of money and save myself time. I mean, you're looking at basically painting the house over there a week versus 2 weeks. So I'm going to take the easier option, especially because I've got a sprayer available to me. Even just borrowing it, if I couldn't borrow it again, I would probably buy one. Johnstone's Coverplus, it's a thumbs up from me. I'm definitely going to be using that in the future. It's very good value for money, and that's what I'm all about. The rollers, don't cheap out on them. That first Harris roller was rubbish. I can understand why they discontinued it. The blue one was absolutely fine. You get the paint on the wall, you spread it out, and then it lays off nice. Next thing, I was going to be tiling, but I'm behind because I put my back out, so that's not happening now. Tomorrow, Dan's on crew. I'm going to get him to do a little bit of digging for me so we can expose near the water sewage treatment plant, and then I can put the compressor in and connect it all up. So that's all ready to basically stick the toilet in. Then I'll bust out that shower because I need to get it done as soon as possible, because the water heater is broken on the caravan. I say it's broken, it's stopped working. I will fix it, but I haven't had time to look at it yet. If you haven't already, give us a thumbs up and comment as well, because the algorithm loves that and it'll push the video out a little bit more, even if you just tell me about the weather or what you had for bloody dinner. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.